Hey guys, it's day 14 of March Madness, and we're going to be working up to the double leg kick. We're going to get started seated in a crisscross position as long as it feels okay on your hips and your knees. Taking the hands behind your head. Elbows opening just about 45 degrees. Not so wide that we're pushing them out to the side walls and we're unable to control our rib cage placement. Press the back of the head into your hands and start to tilt your chin down just slightly. So I'm looking more at the floor to see if I can find some length through the back of my neck as I'm pressing the head into the hands. And then I'll look forward again, lift my chin slightly back up, release a little bit of that pressure from my head and my hands, and take it again. And release it. So it's going to look very small, but I'm hoping that you can feel the work being done through the front of your neck and the length that happens in return in the back side of your neck. One more time. Back to center. Continue to press the head into your hands, but start to lift your chin up. And as your chin is lifting, you're growing tall out of your spine. We're relaxing our rib cage. And then bring the head back to neutral. Take that again. Lift the chin forward and up. And back to center. Maybe making that a little bit bigger if it feels all right. A little bit of work through the back side of my body now. So I take that extension. Feeling some length through the front of the neck. Back to center. One more time. And then back to center. Let the arms come down. Let's lay down onto our back. Create some space for yourself. I'm actually going to scoot away from the wall a little bit. We're going to take some floor angels. So we want some space for our arms. Knees bent, feet flat, head resting heavy. If you need something underneath your head, you could always fold your mat and create a little bit of extra support here. Starting with your palms up and the arms down by the sides of your body. Trying to feel the backs of the fingertips touching the floor. We're going to reach our arms out and then opening to the side walls. See how far you can lift your arms without losing the connection of the fingertips on the ground. Bringing them up as high as you comfortably can. If at some point they have to lift off the floor, that's all right. And then let's take that again. Reach it all the way out, away from you. So like someone's pulling each arm away from the center of the body. We'll take that again. As you're drawing the snow angel, can you also think about dropping the backside of the ribs into your mat? Just allowing our natural lumbar curvature to stay there. Starting to feel that nice, gentle opening through the front of our chest, into our pectoral muscles, a little bit into my biceps. One more time, you guys. And all the way back down to center. Instead, you're going to flip your palms so that you can press them down into the floor. Take the shoulders, roll them back a little bit. Keep that collarbone nice and wide. Feet in line with my hips, pressing down into my heels. Exhale, tuck your tail, feel your low back imprint into your mat, and then start to roll up for your bridge. At the top of your bridge, reach your knees forward as if you're reaching for your toes, and keep those ribs relaxed. Roll all the way back down through your spine, starting at your upper back, moving into your mid back, and then all the way down into your low back until you can relax that pelvis. We'll take that again. Press into the heels, glutes engage, hamstrings start to fire as we lift the hips. We're reaching forward a little bit with the knees. All the way back down through the spine, like you're melting it into your mat. We're gonna do 2 more like that. Inhaling at the top and exhaling as you melt back down. 1 more. Exhale all the way back down. We're going to advance this a little bit. So at the top of our bridge, we're going to go into marching. Exhale, curl that pubic bone, lift those hips up. Keeping your pelvis stable, push down into your left foot and lift your right leg up. Lower the leg back down. Pressing into that right foot, lift your left leg. And back down. We'll take a couple there. Keep the hips as comfortably high as you can. 1 more. Really watching that shift that may want to happen within your pelvis. Roll all the way down. Hug your knees into your chest just to allow that low back to kind of stretch out a little bit, and just take a rock side to side. Roll yourself on up to seated. We're going to move into hip flexor stretches. If being on your knees is too much, you can roll up your mat, you could grab a pillow, just cushion your knees a little bit. You're going to step your right foot forward. Most important thing for this hip flexor stretch is to draw the tail under and not allow our lower back to just dump here. So we're going to make sure we're a little bit more neutral through the tail. Hands come onto your front thigh, and you're going to lean forward into this stretch, going as far as you can without dumping the weight in your low back and popping your chest forward. Hold for about 3 seconds, and then you press off. And we'll take that again. Tuck, and lean forward. Shoulders relaxed. And pressure comes off. 1 more time. And then I want you to take your front leg and open it up to about 2 o'clock. So we're slightly rotating the right hip into external rotation, dropping that hip down. I'm going to start where my knee and my ankle are lined up. If I need to make it more challenging, I'll step forward more. Hand can stay on your thigh. Now you're going to lean into the stretch, pushing your weight into that right leg. A lot more opening through the inner thighs. Release. 2 more like this. Still paying attention to that low back, making sure that your pelvis and your rib cage line up with each other. 1 more. Then I'll go ahead and switch sides. Left foot forward, right knee down, tuck the tail, and lean into it. Ease off. Let's take 2 more sets. So for the double leg kick, it's really important that the front of the hips aren't super tight here. While we're holding our spine in extension, the knees have to bend so that the heel can come towards our seat. The tighter we are through the front here, the harder it is to achieve that. Last one. Step your left foot out to about 2 o'clock. Lean forward into it here. Let it go. 2 more. And 1 more time. Come to a hands and knees position. Fingers wide, knees directly underneath your hips, hands directly under your shoulders. Cat and cow, we're inhaling to round into our back. Breathe into your mid-back. Exhale, drop your belly. Start to stick your tail out to the wall behind you as you look forward to the wall in front of you. Curl the tail, scooping the belly up into your back. Inhale. Exhale, drop the belly. Shine your sternum forward. One more time. Finding some articulation here. Settle into your neutral spine. So we want the head to be in line with the rest of the spine. Belly drawing in, lifting away from the ground, moving into oppositional reach. Right arm is going to slide forward as the left leg reaches back. Keeping the arm and leg long along with the spine. Everything slides back in together and we switch. Inhale, slide them in. Exhale, reach away. Inhale in. And exhale, stretch. Think of lengthening the arm and leg before you lift. The height is secondary. 2 more. Last one. Push back into your child's pose, stretch out your back. Deep breaths into your mid-back. Feel the expansion in the back of the rib cage. Lower yourself down onto your stomach. Bring your hands to your forehead. So we'll let the elbows bend and rest on our mat. Forehead drops to the hands. Both legs stay reaching long behind you. Pelvis is pressing down into your mat. As you inhale, try to lift your right leg off the mat just 2 inches. Feel that engagement on the back side of the leg and the hamstring and right on the bottom of the glute. Lower the leg down and we'll switch. Reach and lift. Exhale, lower. Reach and lift right. Exhale, lower. Reach and lift left. Exhale, lower. Continue like that. Trying not to lose the connection from the pelvis and the mat. Less is more here because the higher we go, the more we're going to arch in that low back. 1 more. Take the arms and stretch them out in front of you. Letting your head first rest on the mat. Legs stay long. You're going to lift your head, neck, and chest along with your arms on an inhale. Inhale, we rise up. Exhale, everything lowers. So my legs are still staying heavy, just focusing on my upper body. Imagine your fingers are being pulled forward. See if you can lift a little bit higher. Hold the next one up. Keeping your eyes looking at your mat, circle your arms out to the sides, down to your hips. Circle them forward, all the way overhead where you started. Take it again, reach out into your hips. Reach out and forward. 1 more. Reach all the way forward. Lower your body down. And then we're going to open our elbows nice and wide. Think of finding like a push-up position here, but just with your upper body. So my hands are about the same distance as my shoulders. My elbows are bent. And I can feel a little bit of a stretch into the chest if I drop my face down to the ground. Breathing into that stretch first. You can also rest your cheek on the mat if it feels a little bit better. And then we're gonna start to add a twist into this. So you're gonna lift your right leg. Once you've lifted it, you're gonna bend, pressing into your right hand, reach the right leg back so it taps the floor. Lower your body back where it started. Taking that again, lift left leg, bend it, press into your left hand, rotate. See if you can tap that floor behind you. Come back to center. We'll do one more on each side. Lift, bend, press as you rotate through your thoracic spine, through your low back. Coming back to center. One more time. All the way back to center. Very nice. We're gonna do single leg lifts and arm lifts. So it's kind of like our slow swimming. Arms reach long overhead, legs reach long behind you. Inhale, opposite arm and leg lift. Exhale, they lower. Inhale, left arm, right leg, and exhale, lower. I'm starting to add a lift of my chest, picking my head up away from the ground. For 4, 3, 2, 1 more, and then relax. Okay, next we're gonna go ahead and work on our prone swan press here. So I'd like you to start nose to the mat. Hands are still on the mat, again about the width of my shoulders here, so if you're a little wider than me, your hands can come out here. Elbows pointing back behind you. Draw your shoulder blades down your back first. Feel that length in your neck. As if you're watching a bug crawl up the wall in front of you, you're very slowly going to lift your face. Let your nose kind of lead the way. Watch that bug crawl up the wall and then push into your hands. On your exhale, we're bending the elbows. The belly relaxes to the floor, the chest, and then the head. Taking that again, lengthen the neck. Press the pelvis down into the mat as you rise up. See if you can find a little bit more core activation this way. So you're allowing that low back to stay in its lumbar curve, but we're not making the lumbar curve deeper. One more time. Press into the fingers, pull your belly in. Looking forward, keep that length through the whole back side of your body. And then we'll go ahead and lower all the way down. All right. Now we're going to allow the left arm to rest on the mat. Rest your forehead. Your right arm is going to grab for your right foot, so you're going to bend your right foot. Grab the top of it as best as you can. If all you can reach for is like your pants, you can try this here too. As you're breathing and grabbing onto that foot, pulling it closer towards your seat, try to fill up the space between the front of your hip and the mat. So you're pushing that part into the mat to find that deeper stretch. Continue to push down into the mat, but find a lift by pressing your leg into your hand. Lower everything down and take that again. The foot presses, the arm starts to straighten to rise me up. My shoulder starts to draw back a little bit more, so it's coming down my back, away from the mat. One more. Press into the hand with the foot. Draw the shoulder back and lower. Bring that leg down. Right arm in front, same thing for your other side. Bend your left knee, grab the top of the foot. Breathing into the stretch first, so bringing that heel towards your seat. Trying your best to create no space between the front of the hip and the mat. Inhale, we're gonna start to press the foot into the hand, rise up, shoulder rolls back, and exhale, everything lowers. 3 more here. Exhale down, 2 more. One more time. Pushing a little bit harder into that hand if you can, lifting a little bit higher, and then exhale, everything can just relax. Then we're gonna go into our swan dive because this is a great preparation for the double leg kick. So you're gonna set yourself up where you're pressing into your arms. They're straight out in front of you. We're finding the extension in our spine. If you guys remember from the other day, when we dive forward, we're gonna try our best to hold this shape through the body. The arms will reach out to the sides of me and I'll keep them out there for 5 reps. So we're gonna rock forward and then come up, rock forward, come up. We do that 5 times and we'll eventually catch with our hands. Here we go. Inhale to go forward. Exhale. Five, catch. Lower all the way down. Awesome, you guys. Then we're gonna go into our single leg kick or one leg kick. So you're gonna rest on your forearms. Think of your elbows being right underneath your shoulders. A lot of us wanna look forward here, but instead of cranking the neck forward, you're gonna let your neck stay in line with the rest of your spine. So I'm more so looking at the space between my hands, pressing the pelvis down into the mat so that the low back can stay long. You're gonna do 2 kicks at a time, flexing, dorsiflexing at the foot. So bringing your heel towards your seat. Be in, and release. In, release. In, release. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Still finding pelvis pressing down into the mat. Trying my best to keep my shoulders drawing down. 2 more. Release. Come all the way back down. Relax your head. Little shimmy in your hips just to relax your low back. And then we're gonna set up for our double leg kick. So you're gonna rest your left cheek onto the mat. Legs long behind you. Your hands are gonna come up as high in your back as you feel comfortable. And you're gonna let your elbows just drop down to the floor. As I start to pull my hands back, so I'm grabbing my fingers, reaching them back towards my legs, I'm gonna lift my upper body, pull those arms back as high as I can, and then I'm gonna lower all the way back down and rest. Taking that again, reach back, lift up, lower down, and rest. So that's the double leg kick with just the upper body working. Now we're gonna add in the legs, starting with them bent. Pressing your pelvis down into your mat. It's 3 kicks first. 3, 2, 1, legs straighten, arms reach, chest lifts to roll back. Everything lowers down, legs bend back in. We start this side. 3, 2, 1. Reach legs, reach arms, look forward. Lower all the way back down to your left cheek. 3, 2, 1, and stretch. Open up that chest as best as you can. Really reach the fingers towards your toes. Last one here. 3, 2, 1. Reach the legs, reach the arms. Open up the front of your body. And then relax all the way down. Great job, you guys. You are all done for day 14 March Madness. Hope to see you tomorrow.